Let me see. All right.
Are we live yet? No.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody. This is episode 23 of Intruder Alert Live. Today we'll talk about Southeast Majors and the Fall Classic that were this past weekend. A lot of Silva people went down to Raleigh to provide relief effort to the North Carolinians who were without any power and yeah, they came up pretty huge. Some winning at least top 3 in notable games such as Soul Calibur 5, MKX, and Tekken. Some people held down the commentary station. Shout outs to Kelvin.
Gordon too.
And and Gordon, pretty much almost everybody. Kev too for a little bit.
Zap.
Gimpy, Zap. But yeah, that's the show for tonight, and also a little bit of Ultimate Street Fighter Season 3. So yeah, let's get started. Do you just want to get through Southeast Majors first? Then?
That would be the best option.
Alright. Does anyone have the results up?
No, I got it. My fault. I was push the talk.
Waiting.
No, look.
What happened to me?
Awkward.
It's like a short nap.
I feel bad. I feel bad because I was talking, but I was still on push to talk. My fault. All right, so Street Fighter 5, yeah. C was actually really fun. I watched a lot of it today, just because I hadn't had a chance to. We were all at Fall Classic, and top 8, Tokido is your victor. He beat Momochi, who has been the grind king after his ESL loss, playing like a madman, probably 10 hours every day, just from his salt, I guess, from losing to Zhao Hai, and unfortunately he had to hold the cell again. But he's definitely showing the type of consistency you would want to see from someone who's putting in that much time. Eita, like out of nowhere, from a resurgence, got 3rd place. And you could say the same for Sako, who's kind of been MIA from a lot of tournaments. He got 4th. Then we had a 5th place tie with a Gaio, Chuan, and NL, the Ryu player. And then rounding out the top 8 was Xian, the Singapore senpai, and Human Bomb, the Hong Kong senpai, respectively, both getting 7th in the top 8. Just outside of that, Nemo, Infiltration, the birdie player XYZZY, Ago, Zhao Hai, Kazunoko, Banchan, and Sonic, the Laura player. So, and it goes on. This tournament was really stacked. I mean, Gact was in the 17 finishers. Itabashi, Nuki, Goichi, TSE 444, Yuka, those were all your 17th place finishers, as well as Don, the Ryu player. And even in the top 32, rounding it out, have some big names like Tompi, Chris Wong, and Somniac, the Bison player. So really a very, very, very stacked Southeast Majors. If you guys hadn't had a chance to watch it, I know a lot was going on this weekend. I definitely would say just watch all of top 32. A lot of crazy matches and things to take away from. The one thing I will say though, and this kind of rings through to the other tournaments, is that I feel as the year progresses, the list of characters that are finishing high is really starting to trend in a couple directions. Yeah, we're looking at Chun, Ken, Ryu, and then Kami's here and there. But if I was just counting the top 32, and resoundingly, it's just Chun, especially in Asia, just Chun Li, Ken, Ryu, and then you sprinkle in your masses here and there.
Hey man, how you guys feel about Infiltration? dying in these streets the last couple tournaments.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him losing a grip on the the throne. He was the best Street Fighter 5 player in the world. I think that that's somewhat to be expected, though, when you take the type of hiatus he did from high level competition like that every day.
Mm.
It's granted he had all the points, he was already qualified, but the hunger is real, man. People are grinding all the time, and if you decide to just say, "Hey, I don't want to compete for the sake of letting others compete," I can understand that. But at the flip side, it's kind of you hurt yourself because now he's trying to beat these people, but I feel like people have figured out the game. I mean, all the Nashes tried to emulate his style, so it's not like his style was a big secret. Everyone can watch his video, see what he does, and that's kind of the adopted style of Nash, kind of hit and run, back and forth, crazy movement, trying to keep everyone on their toes. So people, I think, are also more accustomed to fighting that type of Nash style now, where it's all dashing. He doesn't really walk. A lot of stand jab, sonic booms, really good space sights. So I think just the character progression of Nash and being more commonplace and people liking his style or emulating his style has helped in the long run to bridge the gap, so to say,
Yeah.
from his dominance and now him looking like a normal top player.
Not only, I would say that his Nash was great, but it was a defensive character off the jump, and everywhere like all the other top players have yet to develop offensively their characters. But now everyone, I would say, has caught up to his defensiveness in a way that he is less able to keep it up. He has less time. He gets hit harder and more often because everyone else has developed their offense much stronger. So it's no surprise to me that Infiltration isn't doing as well as he probably initially has.
Let's see.
What do you think about it, Kelvin?
I think
I feel like Kelvin brought this up because he wants to say Nash's ass.
No.
That's where
I
this
don't
is
think
going, isn't
Nash
it?
is ass. I
That's
just
where this
think
is
that
going.
I think the character's gonna figure it out, and that's it. Like, there's no Nashes anymore. They're all gone. I don't know where they went. To be honest, what I'm saying now is Mika, Chun Li, Ken, and Ryu. We saw lots of fucking Mikas at TFC. We'll talk
Yes.
about that later.
No,
but still,
we saw more Laura than Mika at TFC.
yeah, that too.
More
That too.
lords.
More Lauras, a good amount of Mikas, and lots of Chun Li's. Stacked amount of Chun Li's. I don't think there was one Nash in top 32 except for Do, but he didn't play Nash that often. He played Guile. That was really weird to see.
Did he play? Did anyone see him do any off-stream stuff? Was he playing Guile primarily, or?
I didn't see anything off stream from him, unfortunately.
He didn't. I don't think he really played off stream, from what I saw. But from the matches that I did, commentator, because me and Gordon commentated all of top 32 essentially. Yeah, all top 32 and until top 8 at least. And then for the most part, he played Nash up until when he had to play John in top 8. I mean, he played Guile up until he had to play John in top 8, and then he switched to Nash the first match. And then the second time he played him in bracket, I believe he played Guile. I don't know, it was kind of weird. So I don't know if it was a point, like he's trying to make a point, like I can beat him with both characters, or I can beat him with Guile. But he played him with Nash and then Guile and still beat him.
One thing I also want to point out from this tournament, especially, and a little bit at the Fall Classic, as far as the meta and how people are playing in crucial moments, is I'm noticing like even more of an emergence of I don't know what to describe it. It's like a hybrid of like set play footsies. So it's like you purposely are looking to either make yourself look vulnerable or put yourself in a situation where you look vulnerable or would be normally vulnerable, but then you actually buffer into something that would beat their option that you think they would go for to punish you in that situation, and then you kill them. All you have to do is look at Tokido when he whiffed the crushing medium kick a couple times. Momochi bit, and he did light kick into super. Like that buffer is crazy. Like like So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
seeing more and more, and especially at Steam, I was so many times where people had plays like that, where they were like, "Okay, I'm going to do this move. I'm at disadvantage, or I'm looking to recover." And if he hits a button, Momochi dash, but even if he had hit a button right there, the Ryu light kick has such great priority at 4 frames and range that it's going to beat out whatever he hits. And I saw a lot of that from a lot of different characters. One person who does that a lot already in the US is Lud. Lud's crouching medium kick nonsense with Chun-Li and confirming in a super just off crouching medium kick is very impressive. And I think that's something that more people are starting to develop, is like you do something that leaves you with the illusion that you're vulnerable, and then you go
Yeah.
into a quick confirm into super.
Do you mean like like whiffing a button into the same button, like Julio doing double sweep?
Sort
Like
of,
that?
but it's the same concept, but they're using it as a finishing move, right? So
I see. Yeah, yeah.
like Lud is one that comes to mind because I see him do it fairly often, but not too many U.S. players are doing that. PR Balrog was doing with Balrog's V trigger,
Mm-hmm.
where he would make his rush punches safe in the V trigger, but he's not plus, he's negative. But the spacing is in such a way that you think you can hit a normal. Most characters can't reach him, so he's instantly hitting a button because he's whiff punishing the normal, not on reaction, but because he knows they're going to try to punish him. See what I'm saying? Or
Oh,
or
I see.
take
Yeah,
or
yeah.
take advantage. He
It's
knows that
just
they
the
want
same
to take
way
advantage.
that you do medium kick scythe and then follow up with stand strong and scythe again.
Right.
Yeah,
Except
yeah, yeah,
except instead of you could do that, but what I'm saying is I feel like some characters are forced to buffer the risk like 100%. Like they have to know it's going to whiff, because you can do medium kick size, but like for example, Tokido, yeah, he has the spacing down where he knows if he doesn't do anything, or if he walks forward, this button will whiff, so my super won't come out. But if he commits to something
Yeah.
long range or a dash, then he's going to get hit 100%. So he can confidently he doesn't have to do light kick Tatsu. He just does light kick super like right away.
I see what you
So
mean. So it's like kind of like in a sense, kind of like OSing the fact that if I do hit, it's gonna fucking super. If I don't and it whiffs, I'm still good.
yeah, it comes with a whole lot of matchup knowledge and understanding exactly the range you're left at and what that specific character can hit you with, and a lot of testing. But I've just been noticing it more and more recently, I feel. So I feel that that's something that it's probably always
Oh,
been there, but I feel it becoming more prominent in how
Yeah.
people
I was
don't want
talking.
to commit to certain things.
oh yeah, that's
I was-
very true. I actually saw a clip recently. I can't remember what tournament it was. It was a very recent tournament against Do. I think it was ESL. Yeah, it was Tokido and Do playing against each other, and Tokido had this spacing down where he was in dungeon and he charged up a fireball, and Do tried to flash kick him, and Tokido knew that the flash kick was gonna whiff at the range, and when Do hit the ground, he broke his guard with the fireball and then killed him. Now that shit was godlike, but still,
Yeah,
just that's the same concept you're talking
same
about. And
concept.
yeah,
You about to
what
say
you saying,
something,
sir?
DP? Yeah.
I don't recall what it was.
Goddamn.
My bad, dog.
That does not compute.
My brain.
But I mean, that's just something interesting to watch. I think everyone, like I said, when you have some free time this week, take a gander at it. Especially if you play any of the characters represented there, you'll see some pretty good stuff. I saw a lot of good stuff from a lot of the matches, things to think about. Try to apply with my own character like we usually do. But overall, it was great. The presentation was good, not just the gameplay. Uh, I watched some of the amateur circuit, uh, listening to. I saw on Kappa creepy spooky when that girl Mim was playing.
Oh no,
Did you
Wait,
guys
wait,
see
what?
that?
I did.
What?
Mike
There's
Ross
this
had like the biggest boner the whole time.
there's this pretty girl from Australia who plays Laura. Her name is Mim, and she was in the scene. They had like an amateur tourney, right?
Oh yeah, okay. I heard about this.
So yeah, she was up, and Spooky was just like, yeah, she came dressed to play. Granted, she was wearing the most low cut dress of all time, I guess, or blouse or whatever it was.
Hmm.
Like it was cut low and then cut low on the inside as well. It was looking weird and
So she knew
very
what she was doing.
The
sexual.
double low
Yes,
cut?
the double low, bro. The double
Damn.
sweep. So it was just funny commentary, that specific part. However, I like that idea that they ran like a kind of amateur event, with the winner being able to uh, get a qualifying spot into the actual, major tournament. So again,
Mhm.
ideas, people are playing around with ideas now at these, premier events that I think will be adopted in the future. But,
Yeah.
that still remains to be seen. However, it was good stuff all around. A lot of interesting competitions. I know there's a bunch of articles, and anytime Singapore gets shine, I'm always happy. So I'm glad to
Hey.
have watched a lot of it.
How did you feel about playing John? This is his Rashid play.
Playing John.
Yeah,
Well, that's fine. Let's segue into that then to
yeah.
uh
TFC.
to TFC, and let me get these results up. I had them here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, but playing John, I have quite a few thoughts about that, and kind of interesting watching other people play him. I know Kelvin also got a chance to play him in casuals, but
Yes.
John did finish in the top 8. Probably not as high as people thought. I think most people thought he was going to be the favorite to win the tournament.
Yeah,
However, that was
3.
not, yeah, not that was not the case. Do won, playing his triangle of characters: Guile, Mika, Nash, almost. And I have something interesting to say about that, but we'll get back to that. Samurai XSK Samurai, Mikey Chia, the Savage, got second. Ludovic third, our best dear friend Ludovic. And then John Takuichi, as we mentioned, was fourth. PR Balrog and Ricky Ortiz got fifth, respectively, as
EG
well as K Brad
boys.
right there. Yep, K Brad as well. EG got seventh, and then Ray Ray is seventh. Right outside that, Alucard, Damdai, Mike and Ike, and Joel were ninth. Julio, Gimpy, TGS Gimpy, shout outs to our brother Gimpy. Frankie Nunez and myself got 13th. And we also had some other Sova boys in the top 32. Slim got 17th. Fuerte got 17th. And Throjo got 25th as well, all making the top 32. And a lot of good other players from different areas, but, they're American players, so it's all good. We already know who they are for the most part. Just wanted to shout out our boys. Good job, everybody, for representing well in Street Fighter.
Definitely big ups to everybody that did really well this this weekend.
Yo,
So,
like,
yeah, let's talk
gotta throw a
about.
shout out
Say
to
what?
Joe. You gotta throw a shout out to Joe, man. His first major.
His first anything, his first
First-
time
It
traveling
was
outside
First time traveling.
of Virginia
First time,
for a
yeah.
first
tournament.
major.
Let's go.
his
Yeah.
first
Like,
time.
And he did
His
really
first
well.
time traveling. Yeah. Well, we can talk about John's play and all that, but yeah, Joe, this was your first major. So yeah, let's start with you, man. How was your, not the atmosphere, or aside from all that crazy stuff, just playing outside of Sova? How did you feel about that experience?
I mean, honestly, like it was fun. It felt like the arcade again. Honestly, like people crowding around you and everything, and you can smell the must again. It was fantastic.
We got enough of that. We got enough of that.
That's godlike.
I
Yeah.
missed that old musky nerdy smell, man. Fucking
No, but for real, like for example, like Friday night, when they opened the ballroom, like casuals were open, so like me and Calvin, we were about to play, but then shout outs to Slim. He said, hey, he unplugged one of our controllers and said, go play somebody else, and I still had that approach anxiety, because like there's a bunch of strangers, like these guys can all play
Yeah.
Street Fighter. And then some dude just shows up. I don't know who he was. He's a Nash player. Bodied him, and it was fun.
Body.
That sounds like you had a good time there, Joe.
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. I loved it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, the exact words when I saw Joe on Friday, I was like, "Hey, man, you playing the casuals yet?" He's like, "Yeah, I did. Yeah, they're all free. They're all free." I was like, "Whoa, who is this man?"
No, because I remember
he
like
was
a long
savage.
time ago, like Fuerte, he was just saying like there's a lot of bad people. There's 200 people. Like most of them are gonna be bad. So like, go play 'em.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's so true.
Oh,
I remember
man.
Saturday night, Joe was like, I was like, Joe, how you holding up? And he was like, yo, this is so much fun. And the lights were off. I'm like, what? DP, you were saying something?
Yet again.
Oh no.
I don't remember
sorry.
what it was again. I might have had a funny story, but
It's all good. All right, so one more question for Joe. So definitely this being your first stream, I know your first stream. Sorry, your first major, your first match
Yeah. Yeah.
was Damn Die.
Oh yeah.
And that was a rough draw. I mean, we weren't able to see the bracket, so it was kind of hard to prepare ahead of time for that. But were you nervous at all at that moment, or how were you
Well,
feeling?
like what brackets came out? What Friday, right? Friday afternoon.
About
And,
18 hours before the tournament started.
Yeah. Like I saw the draw, or I saw who was in the pool. I saw PRL who was in the pool. Shout out to PRL. And but like when I saw Dan Die, I was like, oh, okay, like he's hard. Everyone else I don't really recognize. And then I talked in the chat, and like DP, you were saying like, hey, like there's some tactics, good luck. He's
yeah.
he hates vortex, he hates pressure. So I tried I tried to take all the advice you guys gave me, but man, dude played solid as hell. I was like, what I learned was like as a Dawson player, like all my gimmicks, all that gimmicky shit, it ain't gonna work like long term, like not against like the top elite, and that shit was hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it. I mean, you were kind of. I don't want to say nervous, but it was the first match, kind of not feeling the rhythm yet. But shout outs to you, man. Losing your first match in pools, it can be rough, damaging. It put the pressure on you because it's like, man, I really don't want to go 0-2, and
No.
now now I have to work so hard to get out of the pool. But you did that, and then when you got on stream, I try to just scream to you, hey, just have fun, man, because you're playing on streams, a lot of people watching. I know from my personal experience, when you first get on stream, I played horrible. I remember the moment it was in Street Fighter 4, and I played like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I had just played it. It was so bad. So I was just like, man, just have fun. I don't know if you could hear me or not, but you looked like you were having fun. So how was your moment when you did get on stream there and had to play to get out of pools?
Yeah, I played Shin, the Chun-Li player.
Yeah.
But man, like the Soviet cats though, the crowd monsters, that really helped. Definitely.
Eh.
Of course I heard Zap. I heard everybody. Kelvin, third floor.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
that man knocked me out as
God-
CEO, Doug.
Oh, damn. Oh,
So
really?
what does that mean?
Yeah,
Oh, he was the one? Oh, that's where I remember him from.
yeah, he was the Chun-Li player at CEO.
He's pretty good.
Like
pretty good.
Kelvin
Yeah, he
said,
is.
that was a really long time ago. I believe that he's leveled up since then. I don't think he has what it takes to beat Kelvin in a set now, but CEO was Kelvin's first major, so I mean,
You're right.
take that for what it is.
Hey man, I don't even play in Street Fighter seriously for a very short time at that
It's
point.
all
Let me
good,
rock
man.
stock.
No one-
God damn.
No one's not letting you rock right
I
now.
can hear.
shots.
I'll let you
God,
go.
I can hear Kelvin's eyebrows raise up when he's talking.
Oh no.
He's going into that
You're
default
right.
smile position. It's
Yo, I was smiling so hard right now.
Hey, but Joe, so how'd that match go? Did you lose the first match, or was it 2-0?
I think it was 2-0. I actually rewatched it.
Okay, cool.
I definitely I definitely played nervous. I can tell because I didn't do any my slide anti-airs. Like I rushed them completely, which you're not supposed to do. And I just played my style. And I remember after the match, Lud, he actually came up to me. He was saying, "Hey, you're making it too easy for Chun." I was like, "Oops," but I still won though.
Hey, I like both of those answers because a lot of times when you win, you'll be like, man, you can't tell me nothing, dog. I just won. But Lud is trying to just give solid
Absolutely.
advice about the matchup, and so you gotta take it like that. oh, I won, great, but in the future, if it was a better Chun-Li, I probably could have killed myself, like you said. So
Yeah.
that's good, man. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. Go to your first major and perform well. You know, it doesn't matter if it's on the West Coast, East Coast, anywhere, man. If you leave your roots like that, and have to perform and play a good player your first match, lose, and then have to. So there's a lot that can happen. So definitely, it was very great and rewarding to see you pull out. And I think everyone agreed that it was long overdue that you did travel out and let people know, man, that you're a good player. So it was good to see that happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, this shit was so funny. You threw him like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, he hit him with the
Yeah.
He
stuff,
had you got the Joey special, man.
man.
Yeah.
It was the throw overhead. That was nasty.
Yeah, Fumi in the chat said he hit him with the shit. So
Yo, God, like that shit's so funny, dog. Just watching.
It's like everyone in here knew exactly what was gonna happen. And we,
Exactly,
and we
yeah.
we know that feeling of what happens afterwards.
Tojo would be like, "Oh, you take the grab. Oh, dash up throw."
Yeah, for whatever reason, people are so like deer in the headlights when they see Dulcim dash. I guess it's because of his animation, but they're like,
Yo,
"What's
yeah,
happening?
'cause
Oh
he hits the deck.
no!"
He hits the deck so fast, bro. He just slides over there.
It's good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, let's talk about John then. Since we had brought that up, we'll get back to that. So yeah, I did play John in pool, and I know Kelvin had played him in casual. So Kelvin, you actually played him first. Tell me about that experience, man. And how did that set go and all that.
Okay, so I played him from the first to 5. The score ended up being 5-2. I took the first match when I played him, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. I kind of got this a little figured out, I guess. He seems to play very respectful, and he doesn't do a lot of crazy receipt stuff that you normally see. But then match 2, he started hitting me with some shit, like some like dive kick setups off the tornadoes. I was like, this is some crazy shit. I've never seen this in my life. Like he was doing like all these crazy setups. I don't really know how to explain it, but I was just seeing stuff and I just didn't know when I could press buttons. He had really good spacing as well. Like he had this like range where he could like space the tornado to where it ended. I didn't know if it was 0 or -1 or what it was. Um, his whiff punish game was strong. Like he would use that chop, the heavy chop, and if I stuck a button out or not stuck a button, but if I stuck like a heavy button, like let's say like crouch fierce and a whiffed or forward step kick, like 8 times out of 10 I was getting hit with that hand, and I was like, well, I gotta stop doing that. I don't know. He was just really strong in the fun in like the neutral game. You know what I mean? And his shimmy game is really strong. Um, yeah, I just think it's safe to say he's like the best Rashid I've ever played or seen on on stream. And I don't know, man. He's very like technical with his stuff, but also he can back it up with the footsie game, and that's kind of weird to see, I guess. You know, but yeah,
Yeah,
he doesn't
I
DP. That man doesn't DP at all. Like he didn't DP one time on me. And I was so sure a couple times he was, and he just never did. So, but yeah.
it's a unique approach to take, especially when you have that option available. As you
Hmm.
pointed out in the chat, and when we were talking about everything, the whole tournament, I'm pretty sure he only woke up DP once, like the
And,
whole
yeah.
tournament. It definitely threw me off a little bit when I played him because I was like, okay, I'm going to bait this, and then he's dead, but it didn't happen. And kind of analyzing it, watching how he played versus how I played, I felt that I don't know. I felt really positive, and I kind of made a tweet last night joking about it. Like, thank goodness I had to play John because I don't know how everything would have went if he wasn't in my pool. I was pretty much going to play Bison this tournament.
Hmm.
The last second switch to Vega was based off of I don't have any Bison Rashid experience recently, and I basically know that matchup fairly well with Vega. So let me just rock Vega, even though I hadn't really practiced the character. But I played well. All things considered, I missed some things that I'm really tight about that I know the answer and the solution, especially when he was jumping out of the corner. I definitely know what to do in those situations, but I think it's a matter of just playing those new discoveries into habit. Like even though I know what to do, I don't think I've had enough situations in casuals with the new tech that I found to implement it in such a high level situation. Because the main thing I was trying to do, my game plan was not to overextend. You know, Rashid can run you ragged if he gets you to the corner early and you're figuring out a way to get out of all that nonsense. And John Smart, he kind of knows that his pressure is there, but there's moments where he'll willingly back off to try to stop your evasion, especially if you're a character that doesn't have a dragon punch. So I wasn't trying to overstand in our match, and had I not missed some inputs here and there when I was trying to EX roll through his EX fireball, I don't know how he would have reacted to that, but I felt that the match kind of went like he would do a lot of damage to me. I would switch over the control, do a lot of damage to him, but he was winning the key exchanges in our matches when our life percentages were below 20%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I after that match, I felt really like just motivated to play good because I was like, man, I was kind of biting myself, kicking myself in the butt. Like if I really had worked hard, I really think I can, I can beat this guy in a first to two. I just need to um, play a little bit tighter and like really focus. Yeah, really focus. And that I think that helped me win my matches down the road. But speaking directly of John, for someone to be 18 years old to play that disciplined like he does is really amazing to me. I don't know what his fighting game history is beyond Street Fighter. I assume he's a 016er or a 014 or 15er. I assume, but I mean, who knows? Honestly, there's still arcades in Japan, so maybe he's been playing since 10. I don't know. But I know that when I first started playing Street Fighter, I wasn't that or quickly attuned, and I don't think Japan really knew about him because I know Daigo and them didn't have him on their radar until he bopped them in that charity tournament. And then they were like, "Oh wow, this is like one of the next generation guys coming up," So, yeah, like a protege, a prodigy. So that was good to see, a great experience, and I'm glad you got to play him as well.
So bottom line, real quick, is he as good as everyone says, or do you think it was a little bit overhyped?
I think he's as good as everyone says. I don't think you can be overhyped if you beat Goichi. He beat Flash. He beat a lot of people at Puerto Rico, first of all, and then so people he was on a notice. I think
Julio here.
he actually beat Julio at this tournament as well. I think he kind of maybe let his style or samurai style frustrate him a little bit because he just died from fireballs. To be honest, I mean,
I think he did have a lot of trouble with XSK Samurai's fireballs, and did he played Knuckle Do as well, right?
Yeah.
He's running into those as well.
He put out a statement. He was like, "Oh, I think I just played really impatient."
Yeah,
and that's what cost me a lot of matches. He said.
I agree with that. Which was a little uncharacteristic. If you watch some of his other matches, he seemed to pick his spots well, but I don't think he's overhyped. I think this game, as Led said, and I'll keep reiterating it, is very hard to be consistent in. Not impossible, but he won one major and he finished top 4 in the next major. To me that's not overhyped. I think it's a combination of America not being as free as people think. If you're not in the 1%, and I mean like Tokido and maybe 2 other people, I don't think you can just come over to. I don't think you can go anywhere in the world actually and just kill everybody. Like when Brolhinho killed Infiltration. The game is made for parity to happen. So it's like you have to break to the other side, and it's something we talked about before. Is going to require so much. Like, they may change the game slightly, but even if they don't, down the road, if people are good at like that 1%, I feel like they may be almost untouchable because of whatever will require to continue to do that. I mean, just look how clean Lud plays for him to always do well like this. It's crazy. Lud killed Ricky in this tournament. Let's not forget, man. That looked free. I watched
That
it again.
was
That was
Three-oh.
actually
free.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Hey,
good.
Matt. The last time they played, I think he did the same thing. I'm pretty sure he 3-0'd him as well.
yeah, Ricky's considered one of the best chuns in the U.S. So if you think about that, what level is Lud on then? If he's mopping up Ricky and almost everyone else to continue to play at the level he does, and I can say the same honestly about a few other people at that level. I think Dew's on that level. Dew, and the point I want to make about Dew is that Dew seems to be playing this game strictly based on player matchup. And evidence of
Oh
point
yeah.
is he picked different characters for the same character. When he played Ricky, who did he play? He
Played
played
Lud and Ricky, I
No, he
believe.
played Ray.
Ray
He
and
played Lud
Ricky.
and yeah, Ray and Ricky. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, but he
And he
picked
picked
different characters. I mean, they both
Yeah,
played
yeah,
Chun Li.
yeah,
he
exactly.
picked
He
Guile
knew.
against Ray. But I think that was more like I think him picking Guile was more like a I could just kill this man with Guile. Like he's
I
that kind of
mean,
player.
maybe it
He
is, but
is.
Hey,
but
people
I'd
forget
really
about Dude with the Shades in Street Fighter 4.
no. I don't think people forget about that. But I do think that um he does play people, and I mean we're making
Oh
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
point. He's not playing
Yeah.
the character. He's playing
Yeah,
people.
of
So if he
course.
feels I can kill Miguel, that's because he's playing the person. So you're right, but I'm also right in the sense that
I see what you're saying. He does do
yeah,
that as well, but yeah.
he's not looking for matchups specifically anyway. So that was an interesting thing. Third floor,
And
did you play anybody or have any matches or see anything that was crazy as far as the game itself?
For 5,
Yeah.
no, I pretty much I was able to watch all of you guys play really good people. I didn't get a chance to sit down with John because I think my pools were going on when Kelvin was playing him. So I had to
yeah, I
keep
think so too.
running back and forth, make sure I didn't get DQ'd or whatever. But I did watch a couple of their matches, and I liked what I saw from him. I liked what I saw from Kelvin too. I don't know what the exact um, set was, but I think Kelvin took at least a game or two off of him. So, I mean, that shows that I know that Silva has a way to go, but a ways to go. But I mean, it showed that we could at least put a little dent in one of the top Rashid players out there. I mean, so I think Silva has a really good chance to do some good stuff. And I watched K1. I watched your matches against well, I forget the Mika player's name. It was
Sabo. Hey,
yeah, Sasebo.
about Sabo. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm very happy you beat him because when you were playing John, me and Thurfler were behind you, watching, and then Thurfler goes, "Oh, who's the Vega?" And I mean, Sabo goes, "Oh, who's this Vega guy?" And we go, "Oh, he's the best Vega in Virginia." And he's like, "Well, your man's is choking on defense." And I was like, "Who the fuck?" I'm like, "Nigga, shut the fuck up." And then
So
you fucking killed him. So I'm happy you did.
the way it actually happened was I'm gonna tell you guys how it actually happened.
Oh god.
So we were all watching, and then Knuckle Dude's on the other side of the TV, and there's a pretty big crowd, and he kind of comes up and he's like, "Oh, what's going on over here?" He kind of like looked like, "Oh, what's going on over here?" And then like the only person Knuckle Dude knows is Sasebo or whatever. So he walks right up to him. He's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, this Vega had a chance to beat John." And I was like, "Yeah, man, that's Virginia's best Vega." He's like, "Oh, well, he's messing it up on defense." And
He
but I
said
looked,
he
but I
said the word
watched.
choking.
Oh, he
I
said, oh,
guarantee.
so he said the word choking, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
And then I looked at his face though, and he looked like, I don't want to play this guy. And I was like, yes, he doesn't want to play K1 because he will bop him, and that's exactly what happened. You're welcome, K1.
Great. Well, I'll say this about Sabo in that match. I think Sabo is very good, actually. Um, he now personally, like just on a personal note, and like nothing against Sabo, but I was really, really, really determined to win that match. I had no knowledge that he thought I was choking on defense. That's beside the point. And I was dropping stuff. I'm not saying he was wrong, but I had lost to Andre. Oh my God, it's Andre at Evo, and I had lost to Sonic Fox at TCW in the same matchup, Vega Mika. So after the Sonic Fox thing, I was really upset because I didn't feel like I got outplayed. Like I hate losing to and it's just it enforced it because that's how I felt against Andre. I just felt like he just did shit and I died. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take away all those factors. What are the things I don't like? I don't like EX Peach. I don't like Clap. I hate those mechanics. However, I can't remove them from the game, so I'm going to limit my interactions with them. That was my approach to the match. To Sabo's credit, the way I was playing was so lame in a sense that he had to take some risk to get in. But like Joe pointed out, we had like almost 3 timeouts in our set just because I was not giving him the chance to kill me in 2 mix-ups. I was like, we are going to play football. Like I forced it upon him. Like there's no option. Like if you're going to beat me, you're going to earn this victory.
You said, you see this money? This is my wallet. You see my wallet?
Oh no, that's
Save that for
later,
later.
dog. Save it for later.
Okay, so yeah, I think Sal was good.
You think that I think that Sabo I think is a much better Mika than both. Oh my God, it's Andre and Sonic Fox.
Yeah,
I
but
do.
that's not
Oh
necessarily.
yeah, I agree.
Better
I
is
thought you
not
were about to say
necessarily better.
beating.
I mean
Better is
that
not
too.
necessarily better. I'll shut
No,
up.
I mean what he means by that is those
I know
characters
what he
can
means.
yeah, you can play like a nut at a high level and be fine because the risk reward for Mika is one of the most skewed, if not the most skewed of the characters. However, given that said, had I played like I did previously to those other 2 players, I'm pretty sure he could have got away with the same thing. I don't think Sabo will normally play the way I force him to because I watched matches of him play after the fact because I was like, well, Sabo's sponsored by the same people Mike and Ike sponsored. So I didn't know he was as good as he was until after I played him. So I was like, let me see how he plays normally. And I was correct. He doesn't normally play that patient because people either fight into him, which Mika wants, or they leave the holes open. I mean, I was doing everything to stop. If he got a jump or a drop kick, I was reversing out of everything. I was trying to, Barcelona out of the corner if he wasn't ready for it. Doing random neutral jumps to just throw him off as much as I could. So I
Yeah,
think I know he
I've,
was salty afterwards a little bit, but who wouldn't be? I mean, I was this unknown guy, and I'm pretty sure he felt that I was going to give him a chance to kill me. So I don't know. To me that was the most important thing because it validates how I've been trying to play after TCW when I like let me write down a game plan for myself and see to my strengths how can I make it work in this game. So for me to beat him and that character specifically who has bested me in the last couple majors or big tournaments I've gone to was something that I was happy about personally. So
word.
Yeah, I did like the how you've been approaching the game, and it's something I tell like my friends back home about how you kind of you don't buy into the nuttiness kind of play. You want to eliminate all of that. But even if it's not the most optimal way to play the game, it's still like for the same. It's like for the sake of not just your enjoyment, but for like what your strengths are.
yeah.
And I feel the exact same way playing Urian. And the more I think about it, the more I'm coming to the conclusion that Laura is not the way I want to play the game. Like I think I'm good with the character. I could be like really good, but that's not what I'm the strongest at. Because I like to.
Let's segue into that, DP. Tell us about your pools and your experience playing Urian this major.
Well, so I mean, I played on the stream 3 times. I played against a really, his name was Mailman, DUI Mailman, Nash player. I don't know where from, but he was like a typical Nash player. Nothing really surprising but it was that same like more in the category of nuttiness. So I'm still having to like proactively put all the pieces together and try to stop. It's like you're not going to change their mind what they want to do, so you have to punish it as much as possible. And when you're at their mercy, you have to execute a lot harder than they do. So doing that on the fly with a new character and a lot of unfamiliarities, it's really difficult to do that, especially with something attached to it. People are watching. There's pressure, and
So it was I had a tough time. Like the character has been out for like maybe 2 weeks or 3, I don't know, but not enough time for me to be as nearly as comfortable as I was with Laura. So it was a lot of hard lessons learned. I'm still not very happy about how well I did. I'm sure I could have done better with just a little bit more strategy, or maybe if it was on everything was ran Saturday and then I got a break Sunday and no hurricane, that kind of thing. I don't know. But I do definitely feel that with Urian, I can play the way that I'm strong. Because I was thinking about this earlier today, like in Cross Tekken.
Yeah.
I had 2 characters with fireballs, and that could whiff punish, and that could do very interesting things at a technical level, and they required execution to go along with that. And Urian has all those requirements. He's got a fireball. He has a pseudo DP with EX headbutt. It takes some skill to it, but that actually is another key thing with hitbox. It's so easy to do headbutt on reaction to any kind of anti-airs. But to back to the Nash player, I could feel it like that. Like I was a lot like mentally stronger in fighting games than he was, but I had to go through that barrier of all this like these Street Fighter 5 things that are given to you. So I had to like on the fly put all the pieces together and then present them in a way that's punishing to him, because I'm not gonna change his mind. So I won that, and I played against Gimpy, and I felt like my biggest strategic flaw against him was using too much meter, and his proactiveness. What I try to do to other people, his proactiveness was eating me up. Like him just whiffing crouching strong, just for in case something happens. And that was really like I dashed in and he would crouch strong. I was like, really?
Yeah, that's exactly what he told me too. He was like, "Yeah, I just did crouch strong, and I got a hit, and then next thing you know, I won." I was like, "Damn, like that."
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the match, but he made it sound like that was a determining factor of something that he was doing.
That's totally my fault. I gotta figure out what to do about that, and then once I do, then we might have something interesting on our hands. But it really hurt to lose to a wake up standing jab. Boy, I tell you what.
Yeah.
It hurt me just as bad to watch it.
I was actually.
Please God.
I was
Thor,
hoping
I'm
for
sorry. I'm sorry that I had to like make your
No,
every
it's not-
time on the
it's
team
not
tournament
your
at
chest.
TCW. Every
No,
time I lose, and I look over, like angry, sad puppy face. I don't know how to describe it. And I like hone in. I see you.
I want the Urian hype to live forever.
Yo,
It's coming,
for
man.
real.
It's just in time. I feel like I've had some. I did really well in this game when it first came out, and then like when majors came around, I just had a really tough break with everything from hitbox issues to fucking getting DQ'd from CEO, and then just kidding, and then and then like playing jury, that was unfortunate in itself.
Oh
Damn,
no.
No, but yeah, I'm back in full force with it, especially because I have time on my hands. Like, there's no work to interfere for maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
that, so.
That's
Be
what's
at
up,
the
man.
curb Friday, Doug.
I mean, well, we can talk about this real quickly before we get into the other things
I
that
had one more
happened.
point I wanted to bring
No,
up.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So after I lost to that standing jab, I felt like shit. I was actually like, I wasn't like First of all, I know these guys. They're like people are from North Carolina. They know about me, and they hold me in high regard because, like, for example, my best friend, he wins tournaments there. Not all of them, but and he always points towards me, like, yeah, he taught me. He does really well, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So they all look up to me, and they all see me in this light. So I understand if you beat me, and you get really excited and like, oh yeah, you pop off a little bit, cool, But in that sense, like, I don't know, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like you. I don't know how to put it into perspective.
Outplayed?
He
Because I
didn't
would
beat
rather
you in a way that was
to be
worthy
excited
of a
for,
pop
to
off.
warrant.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, so
Don't
I
say
saw
zero
that, and then
outplayed.
just the same disconnect that I felt from like losing that way was the same disconnect from him like feeling rewarding for beating me in that way. So I'm kind of just like, well, it's totally my fault. I'm kind of down, and I'm not like at a quitting, like, ah, fuck this game. I'm not there, but I'm like, just I gotta figure it out, kind of thing. So later that day, I actually played Rao, the Necalli player that I actually lost to at ECT Summer Jam, no, ECT, and then we played casuals. We played about maybe like first to 5, kind of something like that. We're just playing, but he is so patient and like he's playing the same way that you're trying to play K1, like the fundamentally sound with punishing, eliminating all the things. But I couldn't realize that when I played him at ECT playing Laura, because I couldn't get to him and get that kind of information. And when I did, my view on him was he was random because he DP'd me with the chance that I did get in. I'm like, "Why are you serious? Why would you do that?" But that was before I actually played him in a set like that. That is his play style. And I talked to him too, and he has the same mentality. Like he wants to have that, and he even says the same thing. Like it may not be optimal most of the time, but this is how I want to play it, and this is how I feel strong. So I'm going all in with that. Like Ultra David put out a tier list. I saw it and met him. It's about, but it's not like just like characters, but it's about like how good are they when they're nutty?
Yeah, that was
Characters when they're
godlike.
nutty.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I'm just not capable of. I mean, I am in some
That
ways,
nutty?
but I'm not strong at doing shit for no reason.
Hmm.
I
So
see.
I think Urian is a stronger choice for me with that in mind.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, man. When we played that
Same.
really long set last week, I can see that. I mean, I think it's just a reality that if you look at all the options in this game on Wake Up, jab is always going to be one that's persistent, and that's why I'll continue to say that the
PSA.
meaty game is, I think, super underrated because even top players, to the very top, Blood, anyone, like they're going to hit Wake Up Jab because 9 times out of 10, it's going to work. It seems like, it's. I
I
mean,
did
it's
Oh,
find
yeah.
it's rough.
I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but
Yo,
yeah,
It's
high.
really high, man. I mean,
it's certainly high. So I mentioned to you that I had a thought about throw invincibility when they wake up. Like when your character gets up, they have 2 frames of throw invincibility. And I was thinking if they jab and they have those 2 frames of throw invincibility, do you have to throw them on the same frame that they jab you, or And throws have 2 active frames. But I tested that, and you can actually throw them out of the jab. So you can, if you're manually timing it, you actually have more time to meaty throw them if they do a jab. And yet, it's still hard to do.
Yeah,
So
meteor's
it's not the
scary.
case. It's not the case that they have more. They don't have invincibility if they do wake up jab. They don't have that throwing ability.
true.
Meteor's scary, dog. I don't know. I feel like I get jabbed out of that shit almost all the time.
It is, but if you're timing it manually, it's very difficult to do.
Yeah.
That's true. No, it is very hard to do. In the corners where it's easiest, if you practice your
Oh,
throw
yeah,
loop.
yeah. Hell yeah, that
I got a lot of mileage
control.
out of that this tournament too. Had I done the second phase, I probably could have done better against Sean, but still, it works. It works very well. It's very strong. Throw hell is a thing in this game. But yeah, let's talk about the other stuff of the Fall Classic before we get into the venue and all the shenanigans. I
The
just
Hall
want to
Classic?
give, I just want to give a quick
Hall
shout out
Classic?
to,
Philly?
of course, again Zappa for winning MK, Gimpy for getting top 8 in KOF, and Spencer for Soul Calibur 5, he got 3rd place. Taxi winning Tekken, even though I don't even know if Taxi knows who I am. Shout outs to you, man. But yeah, so I don't know who wants to start. I'll open the floor up. But who wants to talk about, what do you guys want to talk about first? Blackouts? You want to talk about Atlanta? Where are we going, man?
I think we should start with Atlanta because it kind of blends in with our blackout story.
Wow, racist.
You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with race, but okay. You got it, fam.
Well, go ahead, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I can't remember what happened, so someone else.
All right, well, never mind then.
The wonderful storytelling skills.
Let me speak on it.
Kelvin Maldonado.
I'm gonna be honest.
I respect it.
I was drunk
I
most of
respect
the
it.
blackout, so I mean.
Okay, so most of Kelvin's right. I guess we can back up with this. The thing that was really crappy is that the blackouts happened during a lot of pool play for a lot of people.
Oh,
So the matches were rough, and they were happening periodically. Somewhere after the first blackout, the power goes back on, Everyone's resuming pool play. Philly, one of our lower players here, a member of the Ultimate Street Fighter Season 3, came over to me and said, hey, I was playing casuals. I was money matching people because his pool was done. Fortunately, he didn't make it out of pools. But I definitely applaud him for making the most of his major experience by wanting to play as many people as he could, and watching the other high-level lords play. And it was good stuff from him. I think he really grew a lot if he can apply all the information he got. But I digress. He talked to one of the Atlanta guys, and they wanted to kind of set up a exhibition. Now, the word he used was crew battle, but I'm gonna give him a pass. I know he came from Smash, and that's what the Smashers call it.
That is true.
But they wanted to set up an exhibition of VA versus Georgia. So I'm like, cool, let's do it. How many people do they have? He's like, oh, they have like 20 something, but I said maybe we can do 15 versus 15 and a couple dollars a head. So we run with that. The money amount changes here and there, but we settle on like $5 for the amount per person that everyone would put in. And then the dude knew the streamer. He knew the streamer, the guy from the Atlanta side. I don't know his name, and he will just be known as Atlanta representative for the rest of the story. So Atlanta representative says, I know the streamer. I can get us to play on stream our exhibition after Top 32. I was like, excellent. We get to play on stream and we can show that our area is one of the better areas on the East Coast, because I know a lot of people hold Georgia as one of the big three on the East Coast. If you look at New York, Georgia, and Florida, sometimes DMV gets thrown in there, but not too much word on it in this game. For example, most people don't even know Lud is from DMV a lot of times. So I digress. That gets set up. The power outages continue, and they get to the point where, as we all know by now, they had to kick us out, and play was not going to resume. So everything gets jumbled up. We don't know what's happening. We decide to go eat. We come back. Some of us are drinking. It's kind of late now. And Atlanta representative contacts Philly and says, hey, we've got some setups. And even though the rooms don't have power, we can play this in the hallway, right? So Lud goes to check it out. He also verifies it. And this is where things get a little interesting, because for the most part, everyone says, okay, yeah, we can play it. Then they get word that we want to have Lud on our team, right? Lud being from the DMV in Maryland. And then some people on their team just start making a big fuss about it, saying, well, I don't know that Lud's from Virginia, and we can do it. It's not like we're going to lose, but that would be like Georgia versus Virginia and wherever the fuck Lud's from, quote unquote. That was actually told to me. I didn't respond. I just said, it's whatever, and I was doing a million things in like 30 minutes. So they start arguing, and then Atlanta representative tells Philly that he's like, hey, I want to see IDs from everybody to make sure they're from Virginia.
No way.
Yes, this is true. And in my mind, I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe he's never heard of the military, or that people move to different areas, but that's
California
really
ID on deck. I would have showed him that shit too. Actually, I would have just showed him my fucking military ID and be like, what the fuck are you gonna tell me?
So that was really, like Third Force said, it was a bad idea, but we ignore that, and we kind of just, get around that, and we said it's not going to happen. So it's not an issue. Some people are still complaining about Lud, though. They really don't want Lud to play. And I was like, Lud said, it's fine. I don't have to play. But then they changed their mind because they wanted to include the hot dog wearing John Nitty on their team. Shout out to John Nitty. He had his breakout tournament, winning his pool, this tournament, popping off several times. So, and Lud laughed when he saw the roster initially, because like, John Nitty's from New Jersey. He said maybe he lives in Georgia now, but he's not from there. So then, we counter with that a little bit, and then they decide to let Lud play. So we move on. Everyone convenes upstairs to the 4th floor. Now, Of course, I don't think anyone imagined the amount of body heat that was going to be generated by 50 people in a 50 square foot area. Maybe probably less than that, but
Definitely.
it was really bad to say the least. And on top of that, this is after midnight now, or close to midnight, so it's the quiet hours. So to not to try to get kicked out, they're like, "Hey, everyone needs to keep it down. We really need to be quiet." And of course, 50 people, and we're FGC members. It's not happening. Try as you may, the noise level is audible from anywhere on the floor. You can hear it, like a buzz. So the match starts, but before we continue the story, I just want to kind of get everyone's feelings at this time. You know, so Throjo, we're upstairs. We're in this mugginess. What's going on in your mind, man?
I mean, it's like, for one thing, like, we're all tired. Like, I'm kind of looking out for Sova at this point, though. Like, I know you haven't played your pools yet,
Yeah.
and like, so you need to be mentally sound. And, like, we're already drinking for one thing, and it's just like, I don't care at this point. I'll play, but it's whatever at that point.
So the way I felt at this point was, I thought it was a really, really great idea, and it would have been super hype if it would have been streamed, and
Yeah.
everything would have gone like as it was supposed to. But the situation had changed, and as soon as I went upstairs and felt the way that, like, the conditions, I was like, I don't even know. I don't know that this is worth our while, because assuming we won, which we would have been making $5 a head. Like that. That was crazy. It was the amount of, like, heat and even, like, humidity. The moisture was real, and I couldn't even. Every round I was walking down the hall to catch my breath, like, legit. So I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, like, I was really like, I'm here because everyone, like, why not? If we can make it happen, let's get through these 15 people and let's call it a night and go to sleep. Because I mean, as far as people that were drinking, I was definitely one of those. I was definitely in that category. So
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna be playing at my best, but I was still there to hold it down for the squad. But yeah, that's how I felt about the whole thing once we got upstairs in the hallway.
Man,
Yeah, man. So there was actually like, I think like the Georgia people were like literally crowded around the stations, and there was maybe only like 3, 4 Silver people there at the time, and then the rest of us were like 100 feet down the fucking hallway because it was so hot over there. Like, no lie, it was just nuts.
Yeah,
was
I'll be
crazy.
brief. Philly approached me about it, and he looked like he had some bad news to deliver to me. Like a relative just got ran over by a train or something, and it was like, "Hey, Jibbo, we're trying to do this 5v5 or whatever team thing again. There's up in the hallway on the fourth floor. There's power, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, you're reaching too hard to like make this happen." But
Yeah.
then I was like, I was kind of drunk too, and I was like thinking, can this even work? Like, is there gonna be noise complaints playing in a hallway? There's no way we're gonna finish and have enough time to really rest up and really play what matters the next day. But I still ran with it and I gave it a first shot. But as I called it, it wasn't gonna work, and it didn't.
So real quick, shout outs to Philly for,
Trying.
like I said, he had, you know, really, really, really good intentions. It would have been good for both sides. We'd have been, the networking would have been there. If we got it on a stream, that would have been hyped. Like, everyone would have, been able to watch their matches and see how stuff is played, see how, like, some of the Atlanta players play. But at the same time, I feel like once it got to the point where it was it was we were really trying, we're giving way more effort than we needed to make something that should be simple happen. I think our ambassador Philly kind of was not the right person to just shut the shit down, because he kind of didn't get it. He didn't get it when we were just like, we'll do it if it's possible. And
Yeah.
but like, he took that as, if there is any if there's any chance of making this thing happen, we'll fucking do it outside in the rain. Like, we'll make it work. That's what he took it as. Um, but but yeah, once it got to the point where we were just like, hey, we'll do it if like we're not gonna back out, but those weren't the conditions that that's not what we had agreed to. So we should have been able to just be like, hey, you know what, if we can make it happen at at some point tomorrow, and if it makes sense and we're not like trying to do too much and we still have all our players and everyone's down to do it, then we'll think about it then. And I guess he kept doing he kept in talks with the Atlanta representative, and that's not the point he was getting across. So, uh, like what we're gonna talk about later, he kept it going. Might have been going.
Yeah, I mean, Philly, definitely kudos, man, for trying to start it. But I don't know. Maybe he did, but I really think most of the blame will fall on Atlanta representative's shoulders because
Agreed.
of
Yeah.
how persistent he was. And it made me really think that he had ulterior motives. Maybe he had spent their money. I don't know what, but he wanted this to go down so badly. Let's talk about how that night ended. So we
Man,
get
I was so
about.
pissed off about that shit.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I honestly didn't want to do it, and I just wanted to go out or do something.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
so dumb. That's why I started talking shit to them niggas, because I was like so agitated by why are we doing this? That it was just like, well, I guess I'm stuck here at the hotel because everyone wants to do this dumbass money match.
I mean, you could have easily,
But whatever.
got an Uber and went out on town if you wanted to, I guess. But
Yeah, run into a tree
Hey,
and
not by
I
myself.
digress. I digress. The
Can't
match
do it.
was 5-5. When one of the hotel staff very politely told us to get the fuck out of the hallway and return
Hmm.
to our rooms because it is now quiet time in the hotel and people are trying to sleep in the hot boxes because here again there are no power in most of the rooms. So most of the rooms would be pretty warm. Um, so we're leaving. I hear in my ear the Atlanta dudes are saying, "Hey, just finish the match, and we'll pack it up." So they finished the match, even though the ladies told us to leave before the match ended. I guess they finished the match. Whatever. That doesn't matter to me. Let's say they finished it and the score was 5-6 Atlanta, right? So Atlanta representative sees us in the hallway downstairs, and he's like, "Look, man, we're trying to get the ballroom set up. Maybe we can just finish in the ballroom, or if not, we can go find a bar that maybe we can play at a bar or something." And when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's way too desperate. And then we kind of just hit him with what Third Floor was talking about. Hey, personally for me, I haven't played pools. A lot of people have to finish up tournament matches. It's already about to be one something in the morning. Let's just call it a night. You know, and who knows what time it says the power's supposed to be on at 10, but who knows if that's true? The transformer's down. There's a lot going on. I don't even know if I'm gonna stay to finish this tournament. This is the last thing I'm worried about for $5. And we just kind of dead it for that night. So the next day, Sunday comes around. Power comes back on after 10. I think it was around almost 10:30. They had put out a message that the tournament was not going to start till 2 because the Duke Power representatives had told Big E and Larry that it may look like it won't come back on till 2. Luckily, it came on a lot sooner. So everyone was back downstairs playing matches. Brackets started back up. So Sunday was real hectic because they were trying to play catch up. So Philly comes up to me sometime after I had qualified out of pools, and was like, "Hey, they're still trying to do this match. You know, the Atlanta guys, they still want to do the thing." And I was like, "Well, we've got players in top 32. At least five of our players in top 32. I know they've got 2 or 3 in top 32 as well." I was like, "If anything, it's gonna have to wait till after the tournament, and then we might leave." I say that. I don't. I guess he tells the guy. The guy comes up to me on Sunday as well and says, "Hey, we're still trying to do the stuff." I tell him the same thing I told Philly, and then um, Philly comes up to me afterwards, and this is what Devin was alluding to, and how we kind of had to go this route. Is that Philly was like, "Well, they know that since we're not really trying to do it. They feel that they won the money match because it was 5-6 when everything was over. So the guy, Atlanta representative, told Philly, if you guys want to hold the L, that's fine, but you should pay us the money then, right?
Damn.
So that's what Philly tells me.
Right.
And
Wait.
I was,
Right before this. Cappy, you weren't there for this one, but he like Philly comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, third floor. We're still thinking about doing this match, and you were the next person on our side. We got a couple of people from Sova already playing casuals, so we can gotta just group up and get it done or whatever." And this is when Atlanta representative comes up to me and he's like, "Yeah, like we've been waiting on your guy all day, blah blah blah. Like, who's the next one? Third floor." I was like, and this is the first time I've heard anything about doing this match today. And then I was like, I mean, I'm down to play my match if it's still on, but I haven't heard anything about this until 30 seconds ago. And then he's like, "No, man, my guys, man, they've been waiting all day. We've been looking for this guy to play and blah, blah." And I was like, hold up. Like, I know you're not about to try to tell me that y'all have been waiting on me. How are y'all waiting on me? And I didn't even know what was going on. If y'all were doing that, y'all are dumb. That's how I felt. But I was like, maybe I was just misinformed because I did play quite a bit of Puyo Puyo Tetris with my good friend now. What was his name? 6635, 645. I don't know what his name is. The Mika player from Atlanta. So
yeah.
shout outs to him. But yeah, I wasn't in Street Fighter mode for all day, and then I get that thrown at me like, "Oh, we've been waiting on you since like noon," and I'm like, "Wait, no, that's definitely not a thing." And if you feel that way, uh, I my sincerest apologies, but I mean I really don't care that much. But yeah, so that's how he approached me. That's the first time I had heard anything come out of Atlanta representative's mouth, and it was something like that, like, "Oh, we've been waiting on you all day," and I was like, "Okay, well, we'll go from there." And that's when I went and approached K1 with this, so the next part.
Yeah, and Philly had come up. Now, I was just to set the mood, and I kind of wish I had not done this kind of thing because I'm not a very standoffish person. But I was really pissed about the power being out. I didn't want to play at all for real Sunday. I felt crushed because me and Lud had a really close set on Saturday in KOF. I was up, right, and then the power went out in that match, and I felt, you try not to lose your momentum, but we had to wait like 30 minutes to play again, and it was rough. Lud is very good, and he's definitely capable of beating me, even if the power had not gone out and reversing it. And he still had a character left on his team, but those things eat at you regardless, of the fact. So, and it's nothing that can be helped. You don't blame anybody. It's just frustrating. So I didn't want to play on Sunday. I ended up playing, and it worked out that I got into top 32, and I forgot to mention this. The dude, when that dude approached me, I told him, if you guys want to have an exhibition, that's fine. But for me personally, I'm not going to play. Then fast forward to what Philly was talking about, and then, or excuse me, third floor was talking about when the dude said, we've been waiting for you all day. Philly comes back up to me. And it's like, well, he's still trying to do it, man. So if you want, I asked third floor just to come with me so we can tell him we're not going to do it. And I understood at this point, maybe Philly was looking for some muscle or just something in case, because I understand when people are demanding money from you in a money match, it can be a serious thing. I definitely get that. So me and third floor decided to go with him to talk to my man's Atlanta representative, right? And I'm going to say this, I definitely enjoy a lot of the people from Georgia. I'm cool with them, and it's all about competition for me. It's not about um, anyone personally, but this dude rubbed me the wrong way because I feel like his eyeballs are on us like half the time that we're there. Like he's just looking at us, waiting and waiting. And to me, it's like, who are you? You don't play. I don't know what you're doing. Like so everything's bothering me. We go up to this guy, and we're like, look, man, it's not happening. You know, once a couple of my friends get out of the tournament, I'm leaving. Like I said, I'm not even staying for this to be over. And he's like, well, and then the dumb shit happens. So he's like, well, if you guys want to hold the L, it's not even about the money at this point. My guys just want to play, right? He says, quote unquote, it's not about the money.
Truth.
So we're like, all right, great. In my mind, I'm like, great, this is awesome. I was about to say, yeah, then just play, man. Y'all do your
if
thing.
you guys want to play casuals, five guys versus 5-year guys, go ahead and do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
It's not about the money.
Have
But
fun,
then,
bro.
But then what did he say after that, K1?
What he says is, so what you can do if you guys want to leave is leave your money with your man, and he points to Philly, and we can leave it at that. And then me and him start arguing about, well, is it about the money or is it not about the money? And he's going in circles, he's backpedaling, he's talking about, I got video evidence that the score is 5-6, blah 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 blah. And look, man, I'm not a gangster or a thug or anything at all. I'm really not. I know that's not my life, but I'm not a punk either, you know. And if you want to be really about the shits, we can do that. And so I leave him with the ultimatum to take the money from me, you know. And I pull out my wallet. I was like, "Here's my $5." I put it back in my my pocket. It's like, "Are you gonna take this money?" You know. And
And he instantly was like, "Hey, look, I'm not gonna take your money. I'm not gonna take your money." And then next thing you know, it's like we hit the reset button because we're talking about the exact same thing we talked about before. And then we went around in circles, and he said the same thing again. It's not about the money. And then it was literally we went through it like maybe 2 or 3 times. So we're like, okay, if it's not about the money, then what? If you guys just want to play casuals, then that's fine because we already have people that were part of this that got their money back. They're already on their way home. It doesn't make sense for this to happen anymore. We're out of it, whatever. And he's like, oh well, you know how a money match works. We were up, and if you're not able to complete the money match, if you're not able to finish it, then the person that was up, they're the victor, and the people that lose, they lose. So you got to give the money. And we're like, we're not just giving money for something that was not finished. He's like, well, my guys are ready to finish it. Okay, man, look. I was like, K1, man, pull out your wallet one more time because I don't think he gets it. So pretty much we gave him the ultimatum one more time at the end of the day. K1 said the same thing. You know where my $5 is, and then he's like, I already told you I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take your $5. And I was like, well, in that case, it's not coming out any other way, so it's done. And he kind of was just like, all right, whatever, man. We'll see what final round type of shit. He gave us that like smirk to like head cocked to the side with the smirk. He gave us like some type of hang loose with his hand, and then just pieced out. And I was like, whatever, man. That's cool. If you want to make it, if you guys, oh yeah, and then K1 was like, yeah, if you want to go online and talk shit about Virginia's this or that, then he's like, no, man, I don't do that. I was like, well, that's fine, but we had to make you understand somehow, and we weren't even trying to go over there to like cuss anybody out or like I don't even feel like we did threaten him, but I mean we let him know that $5 wasn't coming out unless they were taking it, and they let us know that they weren't taking it. So we should have just fucking walked away then because that was it. It's done. You're not getting it any other way than taking it from us. You said you don't want to do
I know.
it, so this is over.
I mean, look.
yeah.
To be honest, I feel kind of bad because I felt like the extra bravado from our side wasn't needed, but he did piss me off, and it's very hard to piss me off. Like it's not easy. I'm usually very chill and can laugh at a lot of things, but just being so persistent and harassing us all tournament, I can't even enjoy my experience. Dog, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I kind of felt like he was. The thing that got me a little agitated was that I felt like he was trying to take advantage of Philly because like Philly was, he was like, good intentions. He had really good intentions, and then he really wanted it to happen, but this dude was just like trying to make a quick,
Yeah, man.
$35. I don't know what it was, but he was trying to make a quick dollar.
In the last 3 years, the most eager I wanted for him to make a move at me. Like I really wanted to just. I was lost my mind almost. I was ready. I was so ready. And then he made that comment about final round, and I was like, bro, final round is today. Don't wait for final round, bro.
Final round.
You feeling froggy? Jump, homie. You ain't gotta wait for Atlanta. Oh, I was so hyped.
All right, and another quick segue. We got to talk about Zap and his brush with with whatever the fuck that was, because I was over there.
What happened, man?
I was over there minding my own business, rocking out to that Puyo Puyo Tetris, and then I hear Zap popping off. I was like, oh, cool, Zap is being Zap. And I saw like a whole bunch of like, I'm not gonna call them goons, but there were a bunch of dudes coming up to him. Yeah, a bunch of dudes coming up to him. I'm like, hold up. If Zap's gonna pop off, he's gonna pop off. I'm not gonna have dudes rolling up on him. So I kind of I just put my shit down. My controller, left my game, and you know how I fuck with Puyo Puyo Tetris, so I leave it there. I legit, it was just like, yo, fuck this. Ran straight over there, and I was ready for someone to do some shit. I don't know the exact story, so if we're gonna go into that, Kevin, I need you to bring it up. But I just heard him, kind of going off. I think he won a match, and he was popping off, and then somebody was kind of like in his face or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? Nah, not on my watch. So I got up, ran over there, and watched it, fizzle out. But if shit fucking got stupid, I already had my route planned. I was gonna take one step onto a chair, the second step off of a table, and then I was just diving in there. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, dog. I was actually
didn't-
commentating Street Fighter at the time, and I was like 10 feet away from the MK setup, and I was about to drop the headset and run over there. Like I was 2 seconds away
I
until
didn't see all of
K1
this
popped up.
for you guys. I just knew Zap was there. I found this guy, but we're going to, of course, protect the innocent. But basically, Zap was playing somebody, and to set the stage, the MK stream is like in the corner, like just crammed in the corner. There's like 10 chairs, and then there's the stream, right? And their side. Everyone behind Zap was rooting for the guy he was playing against, so he had no supporters. Spencer was in front of me, and this is right beside the Street Fighter stream. So I'm just standing there randomly. Like I wasn't trying to watch MK, but Zap was playing, so I was like, oh, I can watch both since I'm just watching Street Fighter seeing who's making it to top 32 since I qualified. And Spencer comes over there, and we're going to call him Best Friend, right? The instigator, Mr.
Yep.
Best Friend.
Yeah.
So Spencer comes over there and says, hey, Zap, let's go. And then Mr. Best Friend says something like, what the fuck is a Zappo? Blah, blah, blah. And, acts like he has a problem. Spencer probably says something he shouldn't to the guy, to Mr. Best Friend.
Of course.
So Mr. Best Friend gets up, fixes his pants, acts like he wants to square up with 80-pound Spencer. And I was like, man, I hope he doesn't hit Spencer. But I wasn't really going to make a move because I think he was just going to intimidate him. I didn't think he was going to try to like really grab him because Spencer's very small, of course. And
well, PSA: if you're small, don't hide behind the veil of the FGC because you might just fuck with somebody that's actually about some shit and get fucked up. And don't expect me to come running, even though you was popping up at the mouth and bit off more than you could chew. Writing checks that your ass can't cash or all that shit,
Yeah, we gotta talk like I like it. Use those rock lines, man.
Nah, seriously, man. So if you weigh 95 pounds, I'm not pointing at you, Spencer. This is everybody in Sova. If you weigh 95 pounds soaking wet, don't go fucking popping off and expect everybody to just fucking jump in. I mean, Zap was popping off for some reason. He had a reason to. But I don't know what was going on with Spencer popping off at Best Friend because Best Friend seemed like he was ready to do some shit. And I didn't even know that was going on until much later. But yeah.
So Mr. Best Friend, the reason why Zap popped off is because no one was cheering for him. I guess he felt like he was alone because when he got up, he was like, yeah, I'm out here by myself and I fucked this man, blah, blah, blah. Is your boy, whatever. And Mr. Best Friend was like, yeah, whatever. He gets up. So he's not playing at all. Keep in mind, right? Mr. Friend just gets up. Now he's in Zap's face, right? Mm-hmm. And he has his medal around his neck, right? Because he had placed in one of the earlier finals. And Zap's like, oh, third place medal. And the dude's like, nah, second place. And Zap says, good job. What game do you play? Persona? Right? and
Get him.
Yeah. It was
shots are fired. They're literally about 6 inches away from each other's face. I'm watching this. Like, maybe because I felt like the tension, I had moved in unconsciously to maybe try to get in between them because I'm right there. I can't remember why I had moved there now, but I'm right beside them, and I'm hearing them just scream at each other. And then Mr. Best Friend's his other boys, because remember there's like 10 of them. they try to like also help to separate it, so no one was about the fuckery. I'm glad. Shout outs to those other guys who, had cooler heads, and so Zap turns away and is heading towards the corner. So I'm like, okay, he can go cool off. He's still screaming stuff, but at least he can go cool off. Mr. Best Friend breaks away from his boys and he puts Zap in a headlock, right? And he screams in his ear something like, "Listen, little nigga, you better calm down," blah, 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 blah. And then me and this tall guy run up to them and we're like, whoa, 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 relax, relax, relax. And, we're not applying a lot of force. And then Mr. Best Friend throws Zap off of him, right? Zap doesn't fall or anything, but he catches his balance. But he definitely tried to make him hit the ground. And then the tall dude pulls him away. And then, like a Superman, Big E just appears behind everybody.
Linebacker. He stiff armed. I saw him stiff arm
God
like
damn.
4 or 5 people.
Like,
I was like, oh shit. And I was
like
like, yo,
some-
let me
like
get out
on
of his
some-
way.
like on some Dark Knight shit, like Big E was in the rafters just waiting. I just instantly hear him, guys, it's just a video game, right? I was like, yo, thank goodness for this big ass motherfucker, man, because I was like, in my mind, scenarios are running through my head, right? Zap's our boy. I didn't know Devin was running up as well because I couldn't see him through the crowd, and I'd forgotten that Kelvin and Gordon were right there. So really, we weren't really super outnumbered like that. But I was like, if Zap retaliates, this is really going to turn into a rumble. Like now,
Some shit, yeah.
Yeah.
So my goal was just to keep Zap where he was at. I hate it. Like, this is a weird segue. So like when you try to hold someone back, they just try to like fight harder. I don't know why that is, right?
So that's the thing. That's why I wasn't there. I wasn't there to like diffuse anything. I was just there for if shit was going down because I'm the type of person. I mean, I'm not as calm as you, Kev. So if I'm trying to like hold someone back and then like I get like if something brushes against my face, I'm fucking swinging on everybody. Like so I'm just so like so I don't want to like hold someone back and then like randomly I get fucking like hit or pushed or some shit, and then it's going. I mean, I don't want to be the fucking person to start the shit, but I mean, I'm just gonna start swinging. I'm not gonna fucking it's not gonna let it happen.
So, well, what happened is the guy, Big E, comes in telling everyone it's just a video game. You will get kicked out of the venue. Why would you want to get kicked out for something so dumb? So the guy who starts all of this tries to play the victim. Mr. Best Friend was like, this is what he tells Big E. Nah, man, that dude spit in my face or something to that effect.
Bullshit.
Yeah. He said Zap spit in his face. However, again, credits to his homies because they kept it 100. I was gonna tell E that's bullshit, but I didn't have to because his friend said, nah, like when you're yelling in someone's face and like maybe some spittle flies on your face, that's what happened. And then Big E was like, oh, it was an accident. Cool. So nothing really came of it. And again, sometimes you got a bad apple, but I still respect a lot of those North Carolina MK players because they weren't trying to make it a big issue. So I really appreciate cooler heads prevailing. But that dude, I don't know how I feel about that, man. I really don't know how I feel about that because you're not even playing and you're trying to start all this stuff, and it was pretty sloppy. But
I mean, that's the thing though, is that like a lot of people in the FGC, I've seen it a million times. A lot of people like have that one goon with the squad that doesn't play no games, just play any video games. But like if some shit pops off, they'll be the first person to jump into some shit. But like that shit is just you're putting them in the. I don't know why people bring people like that. You know what I mean? Because like if you actually play games and you actually compete, this shit. Salt is real, and then they're gonna fucking. They could misunderstand Salt as, oh, this nigga trying to fucking come at me crazy. Fuck that, So I don't know why you bring that kind of person around. Understand, especially if they don't understand what the scene is actually like, because that shit is just commonplace. And like I said, the 95-pound weighing people will be like, hey man, we're just fucking instigating shit because it's the scene, FGC, right? And then they fucking mess with a Mr. Best Friend, and then they're getting fucking yoked up. So fuck it.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it.
the funniest thing about that incident, though, if you watch the stream archive of when it happened on the Combat Network, this is the stream that I was on. They didn't have a moving player cam, but they switched it to player cam, and in the commentaries like, "Yep, Zap's popping off." But in the middle of the screen, you can see Traystar smiling, right? He's just listening. I didn't even know Traystar was there
That's the
either.
favorite part about this story right now.
Okay, so
Traystar-
Traystar is just
God
smiling,
damn.
listening to Zap like humiliate this dude, right? And then you can tell the instant that it turned aggressive because Traystar face drops like he's appalled, like, "Oh, that's not right. Don't throw Zap." Like
Don't choke Zap out.
like it was so funny, like looking at Traystar's expression change. I was like, that's pretty dope that they caught that on camera.
Yo, can we get a link? Can we get a link, please?
Yeah, so it's on the Combat Network, man. And yeah, you got a timestamp. It's an 8-hour video. If not, I'll do it tomorrow or something. But
For
make
sure.
a Twitch clip. Yeah. But yeah, aside from all the thuggery that we saw, the anti-Capcom thuggery at final round, not final round, the Fall Classic, there was the blackout, and that was rough. I still, even though we were upset at the time, looking back at everything, I do want to give a lot of props to Larry and Big E for making Sunday work. Like Sunday wasn't super smooth, but it was way better than I expected it to be. Like I thought we were not going to get out there forever, and we may not have been able to finish. Like luckily the power came on at 10, but had the power not come on till 2, we would have had to really decide: do we just want to go home or stay here till 1 a.m. You know. So
Yeah.
I appreciate them doing what they had to do.
And they bigged up, the whole community
Yeah,
for all the people that stayed around because I mean they understood that the conditions were far from perfect.
yeah, it was a shit show.
And we understood it too, like we understood that they were, working with what they had and they understood that, we could have packed up and fucking pieced out, but we wanted to stick it out because I mean we were there. A lot of people travel, we I don't know. I mean to make it to try to do a tournament during a known hurricane time frame. I don't know. They knew they were walking into a shit show. We all knew it too. So people that like walked out or left that were appalled at the whole situation or there's no power in the hotel that was supposed to be. Well, like, those people are kind of just like, I mean, you knew what you were getting yourself into. I don't know why you're surprised now. Like no one found out about Hurricane Matthew when they got to the location. So I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, no bullshit, man. Anyone have any other thoughts on the Fall Classic or something that we had forgotten since we got caught up in like
Shout
eight
out
beefs?
to North Carolina and
Oh my god, that third strike scene looks so sick. I beat
Shit was crazy.
I beat around.
There was a
around.
man. They traveled from Alaska, England, France, New York, California. A guy from Japan came
I beat him.
just to play third strike head-to-head cap.
Let's go.
And I'm sure there's more that I'm not even aware of. That game, I was like, I had all these like nostalgic moments. I mean, it kind of hurts to not be able to play on the same level. And those times, like some of those guys never stopped. Street Fighter 4 came out, didn't give a fuck. Street Fighter 5 came out, didn't give a fuck. Third strike. And now there they are. Like I was just sitting there and like I was like, I can't wait till next year to do this again. And I was saying that in the moment.
Shout out to Jimbo, Doug.
So legit, I feel like I mean it's kind of crazy. Maybe it's the strong showing that Silva had, the big presence Silva had, just a lot of my good friends being out there at the same time. But I feel like even under the conditions that we were under, I still liked the Fall Classic more than East Coast Throwdown. But that's just me.
Yeah.
It's
it
kinda
had more of
crazy.
a homegrown feel to it.
Yeah.
It's
But
kind
don't
of
get
weird
me
being
wrong.
me.
Don't get me wrong. I really did enjoy the area we were in. What was it called? Morristown.
Morristown.
I really like that area, and we found a couple of cool spots to like chill and eat at. But just I don't know for the actual tournament. I think if it would have been like perfect and without a hitch and without a hurricane, I think it would have just been. It would have. I mean, it still was better
Lit
than
as fuck.
ECT, but it had the potential to be just like one of the best experiences of my life. Like getting third at a major.
I would have loved to have things to be different, and y'all become like I introduced mostly everybody to like Kevin Michael, who's a really good friend of mine. We go way back.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the whole North Carolina scene, I would love for y'all to intertwine. And if we did an NC versus VA, I'm not sure which team I would play on, but I'd love to make it happen. It'd be really like it's surprising how many strong players they really have, and it's surprising how many strong players we have. So
Yeah, I
don't know,
thought
I'm
it was
kinda-
dope that even though the power went out, I personally I felt like I got a really good like experience of like being able to mesh with the North Carolina players because you introduced me to like a lot of them, a lot of people from North Carolina. I had a big influence on you, like early in your Street Fighter like career,
Yeah.
and they were all pretty good people, like pretty cool people from what I got from them. So I mean,
If it was like that, we're family. Like if it wasn't for that aspect of it, I wouldn't have grown so much in fighting games, and I wouldn't have like had that desire to reach out and meet more people to like try to have the same things. But like it's so far, it's like almost impossible to find the same type of people that they are.
yeah,
Because I mean, you have like-minded people in the fighting game community, but not like the way like I really want you. I would love for everybody to experience like the kind of crew that they are, especially like guys like Kevin and the people who like started the whole thing. You know, like back when the arcade days, Third Strike, CVS2, Marvel. Like it was a totally different beast, and you got like a glimpse into the past with that Third Strike scene. But that was like fucking every weekend. It's like you can't compare it at all to playing online and like just playing somebody and then getting upset and then blah, blah. Imagine being at an arcade just as we were in that hallway and just people talking shit to you the whole time and you're putting your money up every time. And it's like they're like the most clever motherfuckers, and you're like you just have a person in front of you that you just have to mentally prove yourself. It's like playing on stream, but like in front of people that are like actually there to talk shit to you. Like you get street monsters. Street monsters are in the hallway in our team tournament. That didn't happen, but that's a decent example.
Yeah, that's what the Kevin guy, the ST guy you told me
Kevin
about.
Michael,
Yeah, Kevin Michael, yeah. He was telling me it was always like that. A lot of shit talking in the arcade, and it was like it didn't phase anyone because you had to have that thick skin when you were gonna play like a tournament or something like that. So it was a good environment to get yourself adjusted to that. And
There's
he felt
really two
like
sides of it.
yeah, and he said like he doesn't feel like it's like that anymore. So it's hard for newer players. Even though in Sova is kind of fucking. I don't know how it compares to how it was back then,
And
but
some of it was like
so,
really mean shit. But
yeah.
even okay, there's like so many different angles to it. Like you can have a really good friend of yours and personally because that crosses the line, or it could be someone you don't fucking like and they say some shit and then like okay, well fucking. It'll get even like you get fights come out too, and then you play and you try to sell it in game that kind of thing, but. Like it's a totally different beast from how it is now, and it's just not the same. Like it's seriously, like I would trade Street Fighter 5 and 4 any day to have things the way they were back in the day for like Third Strike. And I mean, I don't know. I would love to see that part of fighting games. That's what I remember. And now, like this is why people like me, Fumi, we're like salty old men kind of because it's just not the same. And then the games just don't. Nothing's the same anymore. But we're trying.
Yeah, but just
mean,
like
Go ahead, Devin.
just like you hear your grandpappy talking about, how
Good old taste.
how bubble gum costed 3 cents. Those stories get kind of old. I'm just saying.
Damn, got him.
Oh no. Well, I will say one thing
Rest in
though.
peace
To his
from me, Doug.
credit, if he feels like people are not as thick-skinned now, I tend to agree with that. I wasn't from the arcade scene, but I grew up playing. Well, not even playing, just being around. Jason can attest to this. Kitsune, our circle of friends are savages when it comes to saying mean shit.
Yeah.
So for us,
Yo,
having thick skin was natural, but I do feel like uh he said he's not involved. Jason's being funny. Uh for us for a lot of people now, I think that's an important thing to remember. In your own scene even or anywhere, man, it's just it helps your perseverance. Like if you can get that, it's not easy, but if you obtain that like that shell of just like whatever, man, like I'm gonna bust everyone that helps you out so much when you have to play in a major and people say
Exactly
you
what-
suck and all that stuff.
That's exactly what Kevin was. I was talking to him. We're going back to his place. He was saying like whenever like somebody would come up with a clever combo or something, they would talk shit to him during the process. So it'd be harder to like even harder to perform. Like you're not gonna hit that combo. Get the fuck out of here. No, watch this shit. You're gonna get hit by
Oh
this combo.
yeah,
And then like they actually hit him with it. Like it duplicates pressure. So when they go to a tournament, they have the capability to perform under that pressure.
yeah. He was saying like back in the day they used to be talking so much shit that like you would be like, "Yo, I'm about to hit you with this combo," or "Oh, I'm about to hit you with this overhead. You better block, bitch." And then you would fucking do it and be like, "Oh, you didn't block it," like shit like that. And that's pretty godlike. I think.
I do that shit at the
I
store
don't know.
every
That's just,
day.
Yeah, I mean, I think
But
we
it's
have
not
a good
like-
amount of that.
but
at
you
the
know what I
store.
mean.
It's not on a tournament level, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, but still,
you're
I mean,
saying it-
anything
you're
that
saying it in
throws
a
you off
funny
your
manner.
game that you have to deal with is important. It's
You're right.
important to acknowledge what's happening, and it's important to if you're playing to not be like, man, I can't. And that's why we do Ultimate Street Fighter. That goes into it. That's one of my main focuses. Ultimate Street Fighter is to have everyone come out and be loud and ignorant as possible and say everyone sucks because that's what you need to get used to. It's not a, I mean, until fighting games are in a glass cage like other esports where it's soundproof walls and all this bullshit, it's a very visceral, like almost combat sport feeling, like where niggas say, "Hey, fucking sucks, take it," like like you have to channel all that nonsense out and really stay in the mode. It's very important. So it's really cool, even though I didn't speak to him as long as Kelvin did, that he was making those comparisons about the old scene versus the new scene.
Yeah.
But McVeigh posted the clip. If you guys want
Yeah,
to take a
so-
look at it,
I was trying not to laugh while you were talking.
and
Talking about the
take a
the
quick
Zap.
second to look at this clip and just keep your eyes on the main star's face. That's Trey Star, and you'll be able to see his beautiful transition.
His face goes blank. Like it gets stuck to where it was at first, and then you see it evolve
Okay,
into
good
concern.
Yeah. So damn. So you guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, so
McVeigh, you
the
have to post a little bit later the clip. The clip you posted is real, but you can't see
Mhm.
Trey Star's face drop in this one. It should be a little like a couple seconds later. You'll be able to see it. What were you saying, Devin? I'm sorry, Kelvin.
I was
I
about
was
to say, I
saying
wasn't
like
saying
the exact line that Zaf said to the guy. So the guy came up to him because he posted this in MK chat when they were talking about it, and I was able to find it. So the guy came up to him with a medal, and then Zap goes, "Oh, what is that? Bronze?" And the guy goes, "Nah, it's silver." And then Zap goes, "What the fuck is that for Persona? So you got a whole $10. Good shit." And that's when the guy got fucking mad, dog.
and that's when he got put in a headlock.
Yeah, pretty much. Which that's some fuck shit. But
Yeah, I honestly think like the headlock shit, that shit probably would set me off. So I know I didn't see that. So like I saw that like Zappa was popping off with the person he actually played, and then it seemed like that was dissolving or whatever, diffusing. The situation was becoming stable again, and I probably was like, okay, let me go get my shit. And then the fucking whole headlock shit happened. I'm glad I didn't see that because I probably would have got fucking tossed by Big E because I mean I'd have been a lot closer to the fucking action.
Yeah, Big E
Tournament
can
organizer
toss
hip
like
tossed.
he can toss like
I'm
8
not,
people at
yeah,
once.
no, like
That is a big man.
that dude is so big.
that man's a rhino.
He was built big, and he
Yo,
actually
dead
does not
ass.
work out too. So like he's scary big.
That's a big boy, dog.
He's like he's not even like what do they call it? It's like the fucking he's like strongman big, like fucking pulling
Yeah,
it.
like powerlifting.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, so
Fucking,
Colin posted the right clip this time. So this clip is the one where you can see Trey's expression go from
Is it
sugar
the-
to shit.
It's in the stream chat.
It's in the chat.
All right. Hold on, I'll try to find this shit.
It's towards the end. Just skip like 20
Yes.
seconds. It's
Like,
exactly-
like Trey looks like he's on the streets of New York watching a crime happen. Like he's like, oh no, glad that wasn't me. The God Trey Star.
I can't see it.
It was the second link he posted. I mean, it's in the chat, so it's there. But Yeah,
Yo,
we talked about Third Strike. We talked about the shenanigans. Um,
Windjammers.
Windjammer!
Windjammers.
Joe,
That reaction,
Joe,
speak on
Windjammers.
Windjammers. Speak on Windjammers real quick, man.
Okay,
Before we
well,
talk about other stuff.
like
Shout
for
out to
one,
20 Majors with Oka, his arcade.
Eh?
I don't know what this game was, but everyone keeps talking about it, right? So we arrive at the venue, and it's basically like what Super Spike V-ball meets like what air hockey.
Hmm.
It's dope. It's dope.
This is godlike. It's one of the best times I had.
It's so hype. We need a machine at the new TGS.
Yeah, like we're going to start a petition or a fund me or whatever it's called. So whatever everyone wants to donate, man, pledge what you can, and then we'll just collect the money and get one. Because I'm telling you, I did not expect everyone to just like love it. Everyone in Sova was having the time of their lives playing with it.
Dog,
It was crazy.
It was crazy. We were there for like 3 hours playing that shit.
Yeah, it
Like
was
people
really
were,
crazy.
people were playing Third Strike and all this shit, and like playing casuals in the ballroom. And I had originally came with the intentions of playing fucking casuals. Nope, I ended up fucking just playing Windjammers. Get fucked.
Yeah, it was
And
quite a few of us first time playing Crimson, so we all were just amazed at how crazy fast the game becomes and all this stuff.
yeah, and we eventually figured out that I don't know if, who was it that unveiled this. Maybe probably Nick, because Nick knows all about this stuff. But they like every character has an alt super, and they have like 2 supers, and there's so many different mechanics and like rolling, and then being able to tap the frisbee up so you can lob it uh or activate your super. It's just nuts. There's somewhat like
It's legit.
really skim depth to it.
It's legit just fucking I mean it's like a top down Lethal League. And Lethal League is an amazing game.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's easy to play, but there's deeper shit going on. And watching it was fucking amazing. I mean, Windjammers looks hype. I hope we get it at the store. I don't know if Winback, if you can get on that to figure out how to get it at the store. If it's only a cabinet, Ray, we need to figure that out. So that shit just needs to be. I didn't get a chance to play it at all, but watching it was
Damn.
really hype.
That shit was godlike.
The line was too long. I'd be like, "Yo, I got next," and then like 5 hands would go up. Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it'd be like there was literally like at one point well, I guess mine was Devin because he didn't play it, but like at least all of us were like lined up to play. So it was probably like 10 of us or 8 to 10 of us just trying to play Windjammers at a time. That shit was godlike.
I remember you guys were talking about it on stream too.
Oh yeah. Windjammers, that shit is godlike. It's so good. I gotta play it again.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I played Garo for the first time. There's a character named Kevin in there, and I was like, "Oh, he's godlike." And then everyone kept telling me like he's really, really good. So I kind of want to learn that game now. It was a fun experience, man. I hope we can organize something to go to wherever. Where's this Tony Majors thing called again? DP?
He has all the arcades at his house actually. So
it's at his house.
Wow.
Damn, really?
So they just kind of like he gets a like a U-Haul. They pay for the U-Haul. He draws all his cabs up there, but like in his house, he just kind of stores them, and then when he goes to events, that's when they're really active.
Ah, I see.
Unless he has like a cookout or that kind of thing, and even then, there's not much space in his garage. So he just has them.
Yeah, me and
But-
Bejo haven't.
There is another store in Greensboro, North Carolina that I would recommend. Lost Ark, the LAVG guys, Lost Ark Video Games. They have a legit head-to-head cabs, just like 20 Majors does, and they have it in the store. It's like it's just like think of that game store, but with a bunch of other shit. But it has a legitimate arcade in it, and it has like a bunch of like Japanese items, that kind of thing.
How do they stay afloat? And like, I mean, I guess like a lot of all the fucking fighting game heads go there like all the time.
Yep. Yeah, and because of the arcade, he just charges $5 to play for the day, and people go there all the time. It's almost like it's a novelty store, but also offers something to our fighting game community. It's like a novelty store on top of being like just the exact same ship as GameStop.
Do they do tournaments there, or like is there like a stream?
He actually has a league tournament, and the winner goes to Evo for Street Fighter 5 Guilty Gear Super Turbo. Yeah, he's doing quite well, man.
It's crazy too, because like all my
They
family's from Greensboro too. So like I remember my cousin saying something about it, but he's kind of like on the sidelines of video gaming. But he used to fucking play,
yeah,
but he was really
it
good
has
at
a good
KI,
marketing scheme.
original KI. Yeah.
Their name is Lost Ark, so it's like relics and shit. So you actually have old systems like Turbo Duo, fucking like all the old shit you can think of, and they have it all. Oh, that's like retro. Like hipsters hang out there sometimes. It's kind of annoying, but fucking
Damn.
I saw a few of them.
But yeah, Lost Ark video games and 20 majors.
That's what's
We
up.
gotta make a trip. I'd love to make a trip with y'all to NC, and we'll make it something.
I'm
Like this,
so
I want to do
down
this team
for that.
tournament. I think that'd be so sick to see that.
Well, I think we should definitely do that, man. I want to have. I mean, look, just. I mean, we can segue into other stuff since we're talking about the scenes, really, and not the tournament. Just a heads up: Ultimate Street Fighter is not happening tomorrow. Ray contacted me.
Oh.
The flood happened this weekend, so he wasn't able to really set up the new store. So unfortunately, we are not doing anything there tomorrow. So we're going to postpone. We are in phase 2, but I guess we should really postpone it because it's not happening tomorrow. However, yeah, let's talk about the scenes. So, and you proposed this earlier, DP, and anyone in the chat, let me know what you guys think as well. I would love for us to continue to grow our relations to the north and south of us. I know for a fact this month that, and this is something I was going to announce. You guys already kind of know, so I'll just say it. I believe on the 20th, Lud and 4 of his people that he's kind of been trying to help play Street Fighter are going to come back down to Sova. And of course, we'll have our weekly that day, but we also want to have a 4v4 exhibition against some of our Ultimate Street Fighter competitors and those 4 players that are with him. And maybe we'll let the 4 that got eliminated play just so they can see how far they've grown, and see what they can do with that. And then that weekend, I think we're trying to go up to Xanadu because they're having their monthly that weekend. So whoever wants to go, I'm gonna try to get some people to go up there so we can kind of open relations. And I'd definitely love to do the same for North Carolina, DP. And like you were talking about, the idea of having maybe a couple teams kind of separated by player strength, so that way we can have some exhibitions as well.
I think a lot of time is freed up in tournaments now that it's just dwindled down to Street Fighter 5. If like we're heavily dedicated to Street Fighter 5, we can find a tournament, a side team tournament, and we could do like a 5v5 tournament where it's our best players. I would love to do like a free for all, like okay, fucking everybody versus everybody. That'd be sick. Then let's have like a 5v5. Let's see what happens. I think it'd be awesome, but I just need to like look at all the numbers ahead, see where we would do it, and like good schedule for everybody. I'm gonna like legitimately organize this and see if I can make it an idea manifest like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this next month, 2 months is a good stretch too because it slows the fuck down. I mean, the next thing isn't until December, so all of November is opened up. I mean, of course, we got the holidays at the end of the month, but there's a couple weeks that if they're cool with it, we can find some people that'll be cool with it to go as well. And I just want to open that bridge of communications because a lot of those people seem cool and good as well.
We need it. Everybody, they need it. We need it. Upstate, we all need more people to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to keep working on that. And if anyone's interested, just contact me or DP when you see us or through social medias, and just keep us aware or abreast. Or if there's any feedback, or if you think there's an easier way to run things, let us know. We're all pretty flexible about things. And even though there is no Ultimate Street Fighter tomorrow, the 4 people that are in the running, just so you guys know, next week when we talk about it, is Fuerte, Rojo, Kelvin, and Gimpy. And it's the same way that Phase 2 worked last season. It's a kind of double limb bracket now with the 4 people. And the matchups are going to be Kelvin versus Rojo and Gimpy versus Fuerte to start us off. We'll run all the matches up until grand finals, and then the grand finals will be the following week, 1st to 10 set. and that will be the season 3 champion. And we'll see what we're going to do. Eventually, we want to start an A League for Sova as well, but I don't know if we. There's a lot of things we're trying to do, man, to push forward the scene. So it's all good. We're trying. If we can incorporate those other scenes as well, that's even better. I don't see any reason why not to. If the goal is competition and making people play better, so I like the direction of all that stuff.
Yep, I will definitely be a bridge for. I want to bring those two communities together. That'd be fucking sick.
Definitely. Joe, anything else? I know it's your first time on True Alert Live, bro. Anything else you wanted to talk about? Any shout outs? Any things you want to give, man?
You want to give any peanuts out too? Like you wanted to give me
Peanuts on. No, just one thing I learned though, like going to a major, it's definitely endurance. Like 3 days, 1 meal a day kind of thing. Like you're gonna need that protein. You need that Stay hydrated out there. Stay hydrated.
Right.
See, man, it's trying to help you out, Doug. See, DP. God damn it.
Yeah, I think I fucked up because like Sunday, I was forcing myself to play. I was like, you keep fucking playing until your mind goes to fucking mush. And, maybe if I had a few more peanuts, I could have like made that long stretch.
Gonna need the protein. No, but Joe makes a good point. A lot of endurance there, mentally, and it's something that people can kind of tell you, but you have to kind of experience it. And Joe picked a hell of a first major to go to as far as endurance. And
yeah, for sure. This is one for the record books. I mean, I don't know how many tournaments have been held in a fucking hurricane, but yeah, I mean, it was crazy too because Saturday everything power was out, raining all day, and then Sunday was just a beautiful ass day. It was crazy.
does G Fuel make protein supplements? Pickles asked that question. Does anyone know?
I would hope so. I mean, maybe Catalyst does, but I don't know about G Fuel.
That's
Good
a negative
question.
news. I heard the buzzer sound go off in my head like timer.
Oh, no.
I guess it's that time.
Has to add. I think we're just about done as far as the show goes. But anything else anyone wants to throw in or mention?
Yeah, I'm really happy that I'm closer friends with all of you, and I feel like you guys are family, just as I do feel with my North Carolina folks.
Hey.
Oh.
That's what's up. Yeah, Jay, I think you can take us away, my man.
All right, that's it for tonight. I really appreciate everyone coming through. So we'll probably be moving to 10:30 from now on, just to accommodate people who actually go to work on Tuesdays.
Early as fuck on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Also, a big shout out to all the people who said hi to Kev and Forte and everyone else that's been on the show. Because Kev let me know that there's people outside of the Sova scene that actually watch the show.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Keep it up, man.
Yeah, always I don't know, it makes me feel a lot better that this actually like means something to other people. I don't know, so weird.
It is kind of weird, but it's really dope. Sorry that there's no Forte 5 tonight. Eric fell off a cliff again, but we'll get him on when he has a good list. But yeah, man, and also for those people that may not be from my area, same thing, man. We got our Twitter handles up here. Hit us up if you want to be a part of the show. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a known player. If you just want to speak your mind about some fighting games or just about stuff that we're talking about, just hit us up, man. We'll set it up so that way you can join us.
Also, so the next few weeks, are there any tournaments coming up, like big ones?
Nah, it's slowing down quite a bit now because the next thing that's really happening is you're getting a lot of the regional finals to start. So I think SoCal Regionals may be the last big one.
Oh yeah, so that's this weekend.
Yeah, SoCal Regionals is this weekend, and then there is Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. There's another Premier Canada Cup will be at the end of this month. So we got 2 more big ones before the regional finals start in November.
And then Capcom Cup.
Capcom Cup will be December 3rd from Anaheim, California. That's correct.
Who's trying to go though? Let's get it.
I'm gonna go when I have to play in it. I'll tell you that. How about that? Does that make sense?
Hey, it does.
I like
I'm
it.
with that. I'm with that. Yo, hey, Kelvin,
What's
I
up?
got you. I got you for $20 if you go with me, man. What's good?
I'm alright. I'll show
Yeah.
my ass good.
Yo, stop
Trying to
bullying
win a team
him.
tournament down there though.
Hey,
Yo, I'm bringing Philly, and then we're gonna have fucking everybody's gonna hate us.
oh
Yeah.
no.
Everybody's gonna hate the Silver Sea, man. Fuck those guys in Virginia.
I'm gonna be like, hey, they're trying to get a crew battle, fam. It's gonna be like Julio, Chris T.
All right, so that's the show. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.
Peace.
Later, guys.